Hello everyone, it's Raza Von Werder, aka Kelly Everts, on episode number, which was it, is, I think it's 16, and I'm talking about my dad. No, it's 17, episode 17, talking about my dad, because I haven't said too much about him previously. Alright, so I'm 10 and a half years old. I'm going to be 11 in July when school ends in June, and in a month I'll be 11. And I go through a terrible crisis. And I mentioned that I heard them making my mother, marshaling the other members of our household, mostly my brother Jimmy, the evil one, to help her. She calls it controlling me, which means help her abuse me, destroy me, and disempower me. Then a new phase of my life begins. The phase where I am persecuted, abused. The word didn't, nobody used the word abused in those days. You could use tortured, mental cruelty, emotional cruelty, persecution, meanness, nastiness, but nobody used the word abused. Well, it's a good word to use. So, it began. They turned that evil eye on me. All of them. All of them except the baby that I had to take care of. The baby left me. I took care of the baby. I taught her to read, write, and draw. And every day was school, an hour a day of school. Later, when she got a little bit older, I read her the children's Bible every day. Taught her to play checkers, taught her acting skills. She was very intelligent. I think the smartest one in our family. And later on, she excelled in college. She graduated college with A+. Everything she studied, she got superlative results from, because I think I gave her a foundation of loving school and studies from the time she was very small. And I remember teaching her to read, write, and draw. I loved being a teacher. Always have loved being a teacher. Eventually, they turned her against me. She was partly my sibling, but not completely. I'll explain it later. And they eventually turned her against me. And she has not spoken to me for 50 years. The one that taught her to read, write, draw, taught her what school was, taught her everything that you could teach a little child from the age of 3, 4, 5, 6. Took care of her. That was my reward. Don't speak to her. From brainwashing. Again, I'll explain that later. My mother left her curse. She died. She died in 1979. But she left her curse in other people to continue the demon spirit against me. She continued. And I don't have any complexes or paranoid. I'm not paranoid. I'm just telling you like it is. Okay, so now they gave me the evil eye. I don't remember at the moment what the next step was after that pact, but I remember from then on in, my life was horrible. And I remember looking out my window in my bedroom and thinking, I'm just going to jump out. Thinking that as a 10-year-old. And I wrote my father letters. Father, I feel like killing myself. Father, take me to live with you. I cannot bear it. I cannot stand it. Please, please, please take me to live with you. He always answered my letters. I always got the letters, because I'm the one that went to the mailbox. Otherwise, they might have been stolen and hidden from me. And he always said the same thing. It never changed. Oh, a child has to be with their mother. Even though I said I want to kill myself, he kept saying a child has to be with their mother. And his last words were always his mantra. You must study. You must study. As if that was the answer to all of life's dilemmas. Now, is studying the answer to all of life's dilemmas? It most certainly can help, and it certainly did help me. But I read so much that I went half blind by about 1992. I went half blind. I read thousands and thousands of books. I read 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5, even more hours a day. Sometimes I would go on binges of several hours of reading a day. It did me a great deal of good. However, my father was pushing his responsibility to love me and take care of me to books. He was like saying, I can't love you. I will not bring you to live with me. You have to stay with her who tortures you and the people who torture you. You have to stay with them. But go to books for solace. Go to books for comfort. Go to books for the answers. There is a point in that, because they say without a knowledge a people perish. I did get my answers in books. I found that most people are idiots. When I asked advice of living people, including teachers in school, the ones I was a little bit friendly with, they gave me idiotic answers, unhelpful answers. They persecuted me too. I mean, I've had teachers who adored me, but I had teachers who persecuted me because they were jealous of me, didn't like me because I was outstanding, and some adored me and loved me because I was outstanding, and some hated me. You know, being outstanding does not mean that everyone will love you. A lot of people hate you. They will hate you. If you have nothing, they won't pay attention to you. If you have a lot, they'll want what you have. If you have a lot of money or a lot of recognition or something, they might want what you have, but they also might envy you and hate you for it. You know that. You know that. I don't have to tell you that. When you're a non-entity and a nobody, nobody pays attention to you. They might just like, he or she is a nobody and nothing. As soon as you rise up, oh, I know him, I know her. And then they start contacting you to try to get whatever it is that you have. Even if you're very popular, then they want to hang around with you so that some of that popularity will go to them. You know, like guys like to hang out with the best looking, sexiest macho boy, you know, boy or man in the group, because all the women come to him. So they want to hang around with the guy to get some of the women. You know that. So now, my father abandons me. His abandonment of me is devastating to me as a human being. To be continued. Come on. This thing isn't working.